Ďakujeme aj my. V nasledujúcich chvíľach zamierime trošku do zahraničia. Náš ďalší prezentujúci, György Blazsovszky zo spoločnosti HungaroControl nám predstaví také tie špecifiká manažmentu bezpilotnej prevádzky u našich južných susedov. Nech sa páči.
Good afternoon, already starting there. I would like to introduce the Hungarian airspace, what we have now from general aviation point of view, and how the drone operators can use actually now the airspaces, and what is the future implementation plans from our side, technological point of view. Regulations are changing continuously. So we need to adapt also the technology, plus as the EASA and all the ICAO is pointing out the standards and the regulations we need to follow up. I would like to talk 4 different parts. First, it's a briefing part when the pilot needs to plan their flight. Same from the drone operators, they would like to plan, load their mission to their devices. So the same from general aviators and for the drone operators. Different approach needs to be done. Secondary part is the MyDroneSpace and the authority console. Maybe you are already familiar with it. So military and police, they can check who is flying with what kind of devices. So actually, who is cooperative with us. The tricky stuff that in the European airspace, also non-European can fly. How can you identify these guys? So anyone from a Chinese certificate with a certified Chinese drone, how can we let them to the airspace? So first of all, 2 basic rules. The second rules are divided 2 parts. It's quite obvious from the beginnings. Don't crash, don't kill. That's ANSP part. Still we are concentrating from safety point of view. Safe separation from the airspace users. U-space, airspace from me is the same. They are using the same airspace. Okay, general aviation today's still briefing, it's easy. Take whatever you have from A to B to need to fly, collect weather information, traffic information, and go for it. Usually you need to get an approval for an IFR flight that you are eligible to use the cross-border countries and the slots. Okay, newcomers are here. Not certified, not trained. They have no idea about the rules and regulations. 12 years old kids. Like bicycles, they can use the road. Okay, but are they certified? Are they able to punish anyone? So we need to help them, support them to use safely in a regulatory environment. We got a briefing system for general aviator pilots. Big airliners can use also free of charge for registration. It was developed with RCS partners to make as easy as possible to collect all information related to your flight, to your mission. Just one statistical information to you. Every day in a world, more than 10,000 NOTAMs are published. Does any pilot able to read it? No way. So we need a tool which is filtering during the mission whatever they need for those data. On the right side, you can see how many tasks at least needs to be done by the pilots. So I'm able to reach from like Budapest airport to Bratislava. What is the weather? Is the airport opened? Do we have enough fuel? Is it opened at least? Does it have any construction works and so on? We need to get all of this information. In case of emergency, what's happening, where we need to deviate and so on. So these are the information we are providing for the pilots with the 2 clicks on it, setting from A to B and generate the briefing stuff for them and reading through. The pilots or operators can decide they are going for the mission or they make a delay. That's how it looks like from flying from Budapest to Trenčín. You can see the airspace, clearances, NOTAM information spotted on right. On the left side, it's a feed on the altitude. And it's quite important as an ANSP. Airliners are talking related for the sea levels in feet. Drone operators in meters from the start point from the ground. We need to integrate them into the systems later on. At the end, just generating the briefings, each flight legs the pilots needs to follow. They can get the performance data, radio, comms data. Also, the NOTAMs, it's below them. Okay, it's a certain pages, only for a 1 hour trip. Try to imagine if someone is taking on from Auckland, trying to reach London. They need to pass through all the 10,000 NOTAMs, pass weather informations. Then you need to get an approval for a flight plan that we are providing safe separation, search and rescue. Then ready to go. Drone users, drone operators, welcome. That's the airspace we need to integrate you. It's not that simple. Military, police, is using all the obstacles, it's there. So the challenge we need to accept, we need to put the 12-year-old guys towards to the airport. We got, maybe you are already familiar with the MyDrone application, but it's a little bit changed to the Hungarian wishes. In the EASA, it says the drone users are not reserving the airspace. They have the drone zones. It's a legal issue. So that's the playing area they can reserve during their missions. From my point of view, still using the same airspace. So we got a decision to be done from the drone operators that are they able to fly or not fly on that area on that time with certain conditions. So some certain colors, green for the kids, yeah, I can go, red, don't. If it's a yellow, you need to ask someone some help. We got a registration process for the MyDroneSpace. We call it good ID verifications. Most of the passports and identification card is validated via that tool. There is certain stuff we need to check, so that's how we are providing them. If you are coming to fly from Slovakia or from Norway or from Swiss, which is non-EU countries, we can let them to identify, to register through. It's free of charge. Same, you need to set your plan, whatever you would like to wish. Certain area, you need to reserve your flight area, and then you need to set, based on your category, licenses and operations, altitude and times you would like to fly, durations. Then you are requesting this flight area if you are able to reserve, so it means you can fly to the systems. You can get back certain responses, restrictions or prohibitions. We are not checking if you have the paper to fly on this area. We are not authority, but we will notify you that you need those papers with you if police or someone is checking during the missions. If you are happy with that, you have all of the documentation, go for it. And then ready to fly. In case multiple drone operators would like to fly in the same area, yeah, we will overlap you and we will inform the other drone pilots that someone is next to you. So maybe you can check your frequency and codes on your drone systems. Also, the system is logging each restriction prohibition during your mission. As I told you, pilots are flying in feet. Drone operators are reserved areas in meters. So we need to check and calculate all of these conflicts. If you are reaching certain airspaces or certain altitudes. And that's how the system is making you approval or prohibition for that mission. Also, for a flight planning, general aviation, we are warning them there is a drone activity maybe over there. We are not tracking the drones yet. We have the authority console, so authority can check the actual cooperative operations, and they can warn in case they are planning a mission. For example, it's a helicopter action. They're drawing from one hospital to the location where the accident has happened. They're drawing the corridor and already informing the affected users in case it's overlapping with the area. Also, we are informing the drone operators via email, via push notification, and a short message. Okay, email is not guaranteed, push notification not guaranteed, short message sometimes work. Authority can see that the message has been sent through and validated all of these. So the drone operator needs to check the notifications during the mission. Of course, for authority, they can see each of the events, what the drone operators are doing from the systems. So what we have now, we can let them to play with the certain regulations. They can accept it. The next step, we need to be tracked the drones and all the users. As I mentioned, they recommend ADS-B, ADS-L, OGN, and FLARMS. That's the real problem we have today. Everyone is using the satellite navigations. As an ANSP point of view, we can't rely on the GNSS data itself. It's not controlled by us. Also, there is a war next to us. EASA said the safety bulletin can be satellite outage. So how can you fly the drone? How can you identify the aircraft user itself? I'm coming from the mobile technology. I was working for 16 years for Nokia Research and Development. And I know the mobile technology, it's defined for mobility. The actual ATM system is not. Why the pilots need a change request for any frequencies? Does anyone care today from their mobile phones that, can I change my frequency during I'm walking? Each pilot needs to take this action during changing their airspaces, going for tower frequencies, and so on. Benefits for mobile technologies. It's a worldwide accepted identification behind them. It's a SIM card. Even if it's a physical one or an electronic one. You need to go for the telecom operators. They are validating you for certain 10 or 17 times of identification. There is a person behind that. So we doesn't need to allocate a transponder code for these guys. We are unable to allocate transponder codes for 5,000 drone users. We got this LBS for trusted positioning system. That means location-based server, which is worldwide known. It's a multilateral technology as mobile operators sometimes using. Roaming between countries. You doesn't need to get an oldie message when you are cross border on your flight. You will be identified with your SIM card. We made in 2018 a test and an active airspace and an active airport in Budapest that we validated the accuracy of this technology with the minimum configuration. We built our own antennas. You can see the red colors are the highest power level and the color is going down, that's the lowest one. Why do we need to prove it? Because we are responsible for safe separation. So if we are happy within 100 meters, then we can use this technology. That was the result. The reference was the center line of the runway itself. Accuracy, without any calibration, we were able to reach around 12 meters. Comparing the Galileo systems, on the left side, horizontal 50 meter, vertical 35. Yes, we can do with mobile technology vertical, but for that you need at least 4 antennas on different height to be positioned. In a normal rural environment, a general user can see more than 12 or 15 cells. So accuracy is much better than this. And the bottom, with the Galileo system, yeah, we got the augmented system, but that's not integration. That means that you are within the certain parameter or not. So with mobile technology, we can integrate the users safely, securely, as a tracking one. As you can see on the left top side, the red line is a flight plan or a mission plan for a drone. They need to follow up. All others are the surveillance data, primary, secondary, mobile data, and that's one of the GNSS data accuracy. That's a real-time dimensions. Here you can see in case the GNSS data is corrupted or jammed. There is no common area with the OR surveillance data which is trusted. The onboard device is using the jammed data, so they will deviate from it. What can we help? We can see the guys that are providing this data is not valid, they don't have common area. So whatever we have, the best surveillance data, we can upload to them, share them their positions, so they can continue the flight during their mission. As for icon specificity, that's the minimum as an ANSP, safe, secure, and integrated way. We need to put them together. We are developing with RCs, partners, and mobile applications where we can show and share the broadcasted data who is cooperative with us. First of all in lateral way, but the next version should be vertical way also. So less radio communications will happening and more on data. If you have any questions, if you would like to come to fly to Hungary, don't hesitate. I can help you in case you can't find the regulations for this one. So that's our ecosystems when the drone users and pilots can operate safe, secure, and integrated way. And of course, we are serving the authorities also. Thank you.
Thank you very much.